I recently got into the University of Cambridge and I wanted to share the journey. If you don't know me, I make videos on studying, adulting, and life in general. So if you're interested in study vlogs or daily vlogs or just lifestyle videos, please do subscribe. Anyway, let's get into it. In this video, I will share my stats, my personal statement, my interview experience, as well as some useful resources if you're looking to apply to Oxbridge. I was an A-level student and I took physics, chemistry, math, and economics. I also took part in various competitions, which included a finalist in a national economics competition, second place in a public policy competition, as well as gold medals in a few national science competitions, but I doubt those were too relevant since I applied for economics. Next is the personal statement, and I would recommend you just highlight two things. One is why you really like your subject, and two is what you did about it. I think that's all the information you need, and the other piece of advice I'd give is to have some kind of overarching story. So either your journey with the subject and how you went deeper and deeper with it, or a certain moment when you realize that this is really what you want to pursue, and just kind of build a story around it. This would really make it so much more engaging for the reader. So I will read out my personal statement, but please know that this was just how it meant for me, and this isn't going to be the best personal statement. Just do as many drafts as possible and get as much feedback from different people so you can write the personal statement that really reflects you. COVID-19 pandemic called for unprecedented economic policy responses from governments worldwide, from stimulus packages to aggressive interest rate cuts. I keenly observed how these policies played a role in saving lives and livelihoods, and how economics was used to justify them. The complexity inherent to our world means that neither building normative models nor conducting empirical analysis alone can isolate the impact of any event or policy. Bridging this gap captivated me, and despite being on my country's national team for Chemistry Olympiad, I surprised everyone and chose to pursue economics. To learn about potential future challenges in policy discourse, I regularly attended seminars where ministers, academics, and bankers shared their views. I participated in multiple competitions to apply my economics knowledge. I crafted a case study on China's economic instability as part of a finalist team in the national economics competition. It was crucial to understand the historical and social contexts to pose solutions. Firstly, the splitting of tax and land leasing revenue had incentivized local governments to increase land value by building infrastructure using debt. And secondly, the lack of property taxes and other investment options had led citizens to inflate the housing market. With an analysis beyond economics, we proposed policies to boost property market confidence for stability and long-term improvements. Over the past 2 years, I have read books, conducted a research project, participated in competitions, taken an undergraduate elective, and attended seminars. As an ardent problem solver, I am captivated by how economics can give me the thought process and tools to delve deeper into problems that shape our lives. Applying my scientific mindset, pinpointing factors and unraveling the mechanism using this sometimes inexact science draws me in. I'll talk about how my interview went. I had 2 interviews and they both lasted around 20 to 25 minutes. In the first interview, they started with some questions about my subject area, and I actually started off by answering the question wrong, but thankfully I was able to backtrack and clarify that yes, I did know what I was talking about, and I managed to give a more satisfactory response. The second question, the first interview, was slightly more mathematical. They showed me a graph and asked me to interpret it, and I think I answered this question pretty well. The interviewer seemed to say yes, that's right, quite a bit. Yeah. My second interview also had 2 questions. The first question was about my personal statement. They asked me why I liked econs, and I answered pretty much what I said in the personal statement. And then they asked me to elaborate on some concepts that I had briefly mentioned, and I think it was pretty alright. I was a little bit surprised because the interview kept moving away from each concept as I answered a question about it, and I felt a little bit surprised. But yeah, just keep your calm and just answer the questions they ask. Yes, the second question in the second interview was also slightly more mathematical, and I think this also went quite well for me. Yeah. I think the biggest learning point is that, one, they're trying to really get to know more about you, so don't be too nervous, and continue to talk about the concepts that you did in your personal statement so they know it's the same person. Answer it pretty truthfully and think about your answer, think about different perspectives. Don't be too shy, and always let them know what you're thinking. Often I found that even after I gave a response, sometimes they would clarify, and I realized that they were trying to figure out how I had gotten to my answer. Yeah. And personally, I think I did give some wrong responses here and there, but they always just tried to nudge me back, towards the correct response, and they were quite happy when, I was able to realize and change my approach to the question. Yeah. Time for all the useful websites where you can find great information. The first website I'd like to talk about is this website called Inside Uni. It has lots of great information, including guides on specific subjects, the course requirements, overviews. It kind of pulls together a lot of the information so you can look at it. It also has the information on admissions tests you might need to take for a specific subject. There's also some application guides, such as essay guides if you need financial aid, if you are taking a gap year, all that good stuff. All of the information's there for you to look at. Another great part about this is if you do make it to the interview stage, they actually pulled together a lot of interview experiences from Cambridge and Oxford interviewees across different subjects and across different colleges. The next website is when you're writing your personal statement and you want someone to review it. Of course, if you can have, a college counselor and tell you where you could be clearer or where you could do it better, that's great, of course, but you can try looking on freelancing websites like Fiverr. Over here, you can kind of see different qualifications different proofreaders and editors might have. Other people have also rated their services, and there's lots of different price points to choose for. So if you ever need some feedback or someone to review, the first thing I'd recommend is trying out some interview questions. And there is this website that kind of claims to have a lot of these questions, but I'm not sure how accurate or how useful these are as accurate types of questions. But even if these aren't the best questions, or even if you can't find any questions online and you just go practice subject-based questions, I think that's still a very good idea, because the main concept is to just practice thinking out loud and practice explaining things to people, and not necessarily practice doing questions or practice the content, because if you've been studying it for a long time, we're going to assume that you know your stuff, and you just need to be communicative with the interviewer. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you!